I'll start recording the meeting on that. And I'm going to share the screen with Robin. Do you have your model pulled up, Robin?
Let's see. I think so.
All right.
Is it showing on your end?
Yes, it is.
Okay. So I guess first off is this my wall, which should be perfect because you helped me with it earlier.
Mm-hmm.
But I've got my door there, and I can't get it cut out again.
Okay. Can you,
So
so I can already tell by the fact that you're highlighting something right now why you cannot get it cut out. Because
okay, good.
you're not inside the group. So you have to double click to get inside the group, and then I had explained that once you do that, you'll know you're in the group because everything else will be green and you can only edit those walls. So now you're in the group. This is where you would have drawn that rectangle.
Okay. So I need to be in there before I do the door,
Correct.
or
Before you start drawing anything, because the point of getting into a group is you're locking everything else out of the view so you can't affect it. So now
okay.
you're only working on these walls and then you're able to push them. Before you get into the group, it's locked itself so that you can't mess up these walls. So you want to get into the walls to draw on them by double clicking. So go ahead and exit out of here for a minute. We'll delete what you did on the outside, and then just for the sake of making sure you're okay, we'll watch you draw it on the inside and see if it'll push through for you.
Okay. So do you?
Nope, don't do it. You got to double click.
Ah.
There you go.
Okay. So this is how I was doing it, and then I was coming over 4 inches.
Okay.
Is that okay to do? Draw the 4 inches, or should you not do it that way?
You can do it either way. You could do it as the tape, using the tape measure and make guides, or you could draw it over the 4 inches. But if you draw it over the 4 inches, just make sure when you're looking for the dot, you find the 4-inch dot. So it's a little
Okay.
bit trickier than having a guideline set up.
Trouble with that too. See, now it's not. Where's my 4-inch dot? I'm clicking on my endpoint, and I'm saying 4 inches. Enter, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not there.
So I feel like it is there, you just don't, you're having trouble deciphering it possibly because there's multiple lines. So let's go ahead and try your measure tool. Tape measure, yep. And then measure over 4 inches. And then click and then pull up from there. And then go up however high you want to for your height.
Not used to using this. Well, should I have a line or should I not have a
You should
line?
have a line. So you want to click on the 4-inch point.
But once again,
You lost.
I don't.
Do you want to give me your mouse for a second?
Sure.
Okay.
But I have got to learn how to do this on my own.
No, I understand. I won't do it for you. I'll just check and see if there are a billion dots or what's going on.
And is SketchUp different from AutoCAD? You know how in AutoCAD it was like if you drew a line over a line, you could erase the one line?
It won't
But then it
prompt
seems
you
like,
to know that there's a double line, like
okay,
AutoCAD
how do
will.
I give you the controls?
You go over to where the screen availability is on the GoToMeeting, and it should be under that drop down. If you click that tab, there should be a share my mouse.
Okay.
Yep. Okay. So if I come over 4 inches, And I want to see if I was you and I was trying to find it. And I also want to see. Okay, so edit, undo, erase. I'm trying to see if there's multiple lines, how to erase them. Because I see all the places I was drawing or you were drawing. Okay. So let me see if zooming in will help me. So over 4 inches. And see if it'll snap. I'm trying to think of like a workaround. It's okay, computer. Don't crash on me. Okay. So then let me check something with our tape measure. All right. So that might be a way for you to see it, although usually I think we had already drawn some lines possibly on the outside of this or where you had started your door before. It's kind of clicking to different points or adding dots. But if you want to see exactly where your line is, you could come on the edge of the wall and then draw a line over or use a guide at this point. You could use your tape measure as well and have gone over 4 inches, and then you'll see the dashed line. Then you could complete your line from there to the bottom, but you want to make sure you're on the axis. And then you would know however far you could start from the bottom here and use your guide since you found your point, and then go up the 80 inches is what you had typed in?
Yes.
And I might know why. Let's see if your guides are off. So now you can see your dashed line, which you were unable to see before. So now you could use your tape measure tool and it'll continue to show you those lines as you draw them. Hey.
Oh.
You had a lot going on already.
I guess.
So it looks like it's already drawn. You just need to trace it more or less. So you could come through and then use your eraser tool or select the lines you don't want to have on there. Edit, undo. All right, so then you'd have a place to start. Now you can have your controls back and then trace those.
Lordy. I've been working on this since earlier when you helped me at lunch. That's how long I've been on this.
So your click.
Is it going?
It looks like it is. If you clicked there, then yes, it is going. Click. Yep, it is going. Okay. There you go. We're going to throw a celebration when you push this door through.
We are. This door has been the bane of my existence.
All right.
Do I need to do the bottom line or am I good?
Nope, you should be good.
Okay.
Now you should be able to, yep, push it through. Oh no, Robin!
Why is the whole thing? Ah.
All right, let's see what's going on. You should not have to do the bottom line. I want to make Is he in his chair? All right. Yeah, Robin, you're gonna make me go crazy too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I tried it, I think, 2 or 3 times after we got done talking earlier, and when it wouldn't do it, I was like, you know what, it's just going to wait for Open Lab tonight, and I moved on.
Craziest thing ever. So I'm going to, I guess, delete these lines and delete the guides and pretend it's an empty wall. I bet you have a bunch of guides secretly that have been hanging out in the background. It's just strange because you saw me do it earlier on the wall. It is
Right.
possible. I don't know if something got completely off since we talked last. I'm just going to clean all these points up so let me see. All right. So we're double clicked, we're in our group. And I don't think, the only thing I can think of, Robin, is that this wall, or that your walls look as though they're below the floor now, whereas before I had them snapped in place on top of the floor. I'm going to delete your floor for a second. Edit, undo, erase. Because this dashy line here makes me feel like they're not sitting straight and flat on. So I'm going to use the move tool really quick. Looked okay. So it is on the face.
Okay.
So now I'm in that layer. Now I'll use my guide. Come over 4 inches. Seems to be right there. Go up 80 inches. What's he doing? Okay. And I'm just going to draw it really quick and see. 36 inches. Click. Maybe it's that. No. I think I might know. Hold on.
Should we get rid of those other guidelines?
I don't necessarily think so. I think it could be, so if this is on the blue axis, I just want to make sure everything is on the right axis, 80. Then this is on the green, 36. I thought maybe I was on the red axis before, and I needed to be on the blue axis. instead. I don't know, Robin. This is beyond me. I could paste the walls back in there and see if it happened to be the fact that something got changed again.
Okay. Well, if you do that, I'd like to try to do the walls right away in front of you.
Yeah,
And
no,
then
I
maybe,
understand.
and then it's either going to work right away or it's not going to work and I can be like, okay, now what did I do wrong?
Because, oh my gosh. So there's the 4 inches.
This is where I'm getting stuck on hours and hours of homework, but I'm not getting anything done. You know, I'm not getting anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll tell you the truth, I'm about ready to just be like, just give me zeros for these last couple assignments. I'll call it quits, I'm done.
I'm just so confused why it's not finishing out the door. All right, well, let's give it a try and see if it was just that the walls got messed up. So, let me find my other SketchUp models. Oh, I have to take back the
I was going to say, you're in me.
screen for a second. Okay, and then, because if I am you, right, and really these are the ones, because I was just going to redo it, that you were supposed to bring in via the AutoCAD.
And I think I still have that saved somewhere.
All right, so now I'm gonna 1, 2, 3, and I'm gonna make it a group, edit, copy. Then I know I'm not you, but I do have your drawing from earlier. So if I go into here and I do file, open, where is Mart? I think yours is on my desktop. This one.
Now, I added a whole bunch of furniture and changed some furniture today as well. So if you're putting that in the old drawing.
No, I just want to test it on my side to see, and then what I'll do is I'll send you just these walls, and then we're going to copy them and paste them into place. I'll let it think about that for a second. Edit, paste. Undo, so view, and then I'm going to go into camera, standard views, top, edit, paste. On face. And then I will just orbit out of that. Here. And then on edge and group. All right, so let's see where that leaves us. Okay, that should be accurate. And then I'm just gonna make sure this works. I'm double clicking into the group. I'm picking the corner. I'm coming over 4 inches. I have
Did those walls line up on the first time this time?
I drew them completely from scratch instead of bringing
Okay.
in.
Yeah. I'll talk to you later. Okay.
Hey Josie, can you mute your mic? Here, I can do it for you. 4 inches. Yeah, it's so strange that it's not. Oh, there it is. I see the blue line. So just needed to be out a little bit. 80 inches. 36 inches. 80 inches. All right, you're a witness. Let's see.
Wait. Push pull.
Bam. All right.
Oh, okay.
So I'm going to edit under that. And I'm going to send you.
Easy.
You know, something got off, but we're going to go through these steps once I send you these walls. So I'm going to send you this model, and I want you to open it at the same time as your model you're in, and we're going to copy them and paste in place from one to the other. As long as your computer can manage the fact you're going to have 2
I was
open.
just thinking, yeah, we'll see.
Here, I could even make it a little easier on your computer. Because it's all about having those walls in place. It doesn't matter about anything else. Just the fact that we're going to paste them in their location as they are. So there, now it's less for it to think about. Should be more manageable for your computer.
Okay.
And I'll delete all the extra stuff in here. Okay, so I'm going to send you this. And I'm going to do it via WeTransfer, which I already have open.
Okay.
Add files, desktop, walls, open, your email, which is something dream.
Yep, always dream big.
There you go,
There
your
it is.
recent from me transfer. So that'll run in the background. At the same time, you had said you had a question on, and I'm going to close that out. Oh, Hunter. Oh, I can give you the screen, actually. You had a question on the floor doing something weird as well?
Yes. It wasn't doing this before, but I was having trouble trying to get the center on the floor. And I got to get my GoToMeeting out of the way. Hold on a second.
Mm-hmm.
When I was turning off the house layer,
Okay.
oh, stop it. Okay, hold on. Look what it's doing.
Do it again.
Where did the house layer go? Okay. So the house layer is on,
Uh-huh.
and then when I take the house layer off, then nothing is on the floor. See, look. Well, maybe I finally got it. I was working my tail off on it.
But there's
But
your,
see, there's like no floor.
and there's your grass again.
See? Yeah. And
So
that was not doing that previously.
let's see if, I think it might be that for some reason your floor, because the floor, like I said, has 3 layers to it. So it's, imagine the floor is a box. It's not a flat layer. So when you delete one, it's as if you deleted a face off a wall and you're looking down into the floor. So I think you're just missing the layer that goes over the grass. So we could probably,
Oh, there, you can see like the red hutch is floating now.
I think you're just missing your floor. That it's just deleted the face of the floor off of the entire drawing. So for that, we could probably copy and paste an older floor that back when you had it in there. We could paste that layer back in. So let's see. I want to make sure it's not on any other layer. Nope. Everything else is on, so I guess it would just be that it's deleted. Windows are on, layer 0. Roof. I'll orbit down. Nope, not on the roof there. Now let me make sure that this is accurate. So can you possibly open an older, oh my gosh, an older version of your drawing? Can you save this and then we'll try to open two at once?
Okay. Good Lord.
Just don't move suddenly.
I know.
Oh my gosh.
He's happy.
He is. Just wish we communicated through not screaming. Oh, watch your head, honey. So, here we go. We're going to try and open an older one with the floor, okay?
There's an old one. This is probably going to make my computer have a heart attack, just so you know.
I'm hoping to get in and get out.
Getting in will be a miracle, much less getting in and getting out. Come on, you can do it.
It's thinking about it.
No. I'm sorry it's taken so long.
It's okay.
Yay!
All right. So go ahead and click the floor and go to edit copy. I always want to say right click. All right. And then go to your other drawing. Let's wait
Do
to
you want me
close.
to kill this
Let's
one?
wait. Let's
Okay.
wait. Hopefully it'll be
Okay.
fast, but. Okay, then go up to edit and click paste in place. There you go.
Yay! Save before it crashes.
Yeah, save that and delete or close the other one. You don't need it.
Okay.
I figured that was what happened. And I'm going to let you download the wall file in the background and just ask some other people a few questions from it.
That's great. Okay, thank you.
So where is my GoToMeeting? Josie, I'm going to unmute you when I can find you. There it is. All right, Josie. So
I'm here. I've been here. I actually learned a lot by looking at you help her, because some of the things I've been doing too that I just didn't get.
Okay. Well, that's good.
If you go to my screen, you can see my project where I'm at.
Let me share it. I haven't given you controls yet. Okay, now we should see your screen in here in a second. Ooh. You got some fun color theming going on.
I mean, this is fun. This is a boathouse. I've been really having fun with this. I really have put some energy into it and thinking about the whole layout. But I'm honestly, Allison, I think my problem is it's going to that CAD. I've downloaded that.
This was for your materials assignment that I had just texted you on. So you didn't need to do anything in CAD for that, and you sent me a bunch of CAD files, and I have a.
Well,
go ahead.
See, that's what I was hoping to get to that issue that day, because my question was,
okay,
do I save this? I mean, I didn't know if I could take a photo shot of this, or if all I had to do was get a view and then send it. Send it at that point in a JPEG or something. I was just totally confused at that point.
So it is a JPEG, and I talked about in the video that it's a similar process as exporting to CAD, but you're changing the form that you're exporting. So if you could can you pull your screen over a little bit more centered, your SketchUp screen, because it's a little off in the corner. I can't see everything.
Like that?
Like grab the menu bar at the top and just drag the whole workspace over so we can see your full SketchUp.
The menu bar.
Up at the top, the gray section. Yep. I just want you to move the whole window, down. Yep. Right in there. The whole screen.
It's not moving on this side. Well, I'm clueless, kid. What am I doing?
You should be able to just click and drag it if it was a toolbar. Yep.
Like that?
Yeah, except move it to the right. You're right.
Go back up. Okay, over here on this side? Click it on this side? Do you still want the full screen?
Yeah, I want the full screen. You should just be able to grab that gray part and move it to the right. So when you just click with the left click and hold. Yep, there you go. That's what I was looking for. Do you have daughters helping you in the background?
Well, my daughter just rolled in. She goes, Peaches, just take it to that. Okay.
All right.
How's that? Is that helpful? Does that help you? Okay, what I need to do is go back. I mean, I've had issues with draperies underneath the floor, and I've tried to scale those and get those into position. So I spent a lot of time trying to get everything where it belongs. The bathroom, it's kind of fun. I put that in, put a floor in there. and put in a walk-in shower, mirror, and a towel bar. And
Great.
issue here is, and then obviously the artwork, when you were talking about that framed artwork, I tried to do something with that, but I don't know. Here's a problem. I can't get this thing moved out. For some reason, as soon as I move it and unclick it, it lands up out in space, this little jar.
Uh-huh.
Let's see if I can do this now. Move. I just wanted to scooch it over a pinch. When you grab it, do you grab a corner, do you grab the object, or where do you grab on this thing?
Usually I would grab a bottom corner of the box that's showing, but for easy to move it the way you want to, I would escape out of here for a moment. Just get out of it. And I would go to camera at the top.
Yeah.
And then standard views and top.
Okay.
Because then you're looking at it flat, so you can only move it on the axes left, right, and forward and back instead of up and down. And so now you can see how it is sitting on top of your credenza there. So then now use the move tool.
And now I would move it then from this point.
And you don't even have to worry about where to grab it, because it'll just, if you click in anywhere, just click. Okay, and then start. Oh, you're inside of it. You want to be, so left, grab the select tool, sorry, in the upper left, and click out one more time, because you don't want to be inside the group. And really,
okay, now you know what, I probably need to undo this.
Yeah, hit edit undo. Just that little point that you got. Okay, now click outside of your group, because you just want to move it as an object. So left click. Okay, now click the move tool.
Okay.
And then click any point on your jar, and yep, there you go. So now it's moving it on the face. Oh, you lost him.
When I clicked, it disappeared.
All right.
It's happened quite often, and I'm thinking there's something weird about, maybe I downloaded a weird jar.
No, that's fine.
Look, it's probably outside in space somewhere. I'm sure I'm going to find it out here on the grass or somewhere.
I don't think so. I think you were doing okay there. If you go.
But see, where is it? See, where is it? So I'll have to undo it now.
Yeah.
Undo move.
That happens to me a lot too.
Where it disappears out in the grass. Okay, so there it is.
Scroll in.
Now, yeah.
Scroll in closer. It's always better the closer you can get.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now should I try to move it?
Now you're rotating, so you don't want to do that. But
what?
So you want to make sure, see how you're trying to move it right now? You want to stay on it. There you go. Where it's a red axis, you want to continue that red. It has to be the red axis where the line that is showing up shows red. So right now you're not on an axis. Right now you're not even on the there you're on the red axis. So like it's very faint, but you can see it on that dashed line that's coming off of your cursor. And if you can see it, yeah, I see that little dashed line coming off of your cursor.
Yeah.
So you want to get that line as straight as your mind tells you is straight. And once it gets to about that point, it'll show red. Now you could click the up arrow on your keyboard. Yep, there, it's red right now. And you want to keep going forward, but you have to keep it straight. So click the up arrow on your keyboard.
Okay, so let me undo it so it appears again. Am I in the right spot now? I mean, look at all these are blue. This one's blue. This
the reason it's blue has nothing to do with your axes. All that's telling you is that you have that object current. So the box is telling you you have it selected. Now when you click and you start pulling it out the way you want to, go ahead and hit the up arrow on your keyboard while you have this selected, and then start pulling it.
Okay, oops. I want to select it here. Okay, move. I click.
Yep, click that.
I keep my finger down, don't I, to drag it? I have to drag it.
Yep,
right?
You have to start dragging it.
And then if I click up on my arrow.
Then it should snap it to that red while you're dragging it, so it's a little easier. I mean, it's not. You got to get back straight. So if you notice, you're deviating from a straight line, but if you're pushing the up arrow and dragging forward or up, it should help to click it to a red axis. Which I can tell you're not on there. Nope.
On Facebook is usually my thing. I mean, I did those lines.
There. So you just have to pay attention to that dashed line. So
now what do I do? Because as soon as I click it, it's going to disappear again.
All right, hold on. It's going to disappear because right now you're not on the red axis. So there, click now. And hopefully it won't disappear. Click.
I did. I let my finger up.
And you clicked? All right.
Oh, there it goes.
Did you click though, really?
I did. I didn't click. I let my finger up.
You need to click to finish the command. So you want to make sure it's red again and then click once it shows that it's moved on that red axis.
As soon as I click to drag it, then I leave my finger down and I drag it, but I don't unclick it. I mean, I don't take my finger up. This is the only problem I've had. Look at all the other stuff I've put in position, but this thing is not.
So click right now. Click. All right, then I heard it click, but you're still pulling. So you should have, when you clicked, it should have let go of it. Can I have your mouse and just see?
Give you my screen. Yeah.
No, don't give me your screen. Just give me your mouse. So don't make me the presenter. There should be a button that says share my mouse under the screen.
Let's see right here.
Okay, perfect. So I'm going to start to move it as you have it selected. And it's always slower when I'm
pushing your up button?
Nope.
Your up arrow?
I'm just dragging right now.
Okay. You're just dragging with your finger down.
I'm not even dragging with my finger down. I'm just dragging up.
Oh, see, I had my finger down.
And then
on the button.
I'm going to left click, so it did disappear. Let me zoom out a little bit so I can see my axes better. It is interesting though.
Maybe I just got a faulty jar.
Just doesn't make sense because it is on the face. So if I move it, and sure, I'll grab it from the center here. But I want to make sure it's my red axis. So I'm going to hold the up key. See if that can give me. So it's not as easy as I thought it was. Well, it's not like you're doing something way off is what I'm getting at.
See, that's why I thought maybe I should get rid of the dumb jar altogether and get a completely different, download something else that's not, you know, maybe somebody put in a prank jar.
A prank jar? No.
It's cause someone to go insane, which I'm on the border of.
Somebody's been doing a lot of prank furniture because I must be getting it too.
I've been listening to you about your push-pull. I've had a few of those experiences myself. It's like
I'm about ready to pull my hair out.
Exactly. But you know what? When it does, it is fun. And when you do get furniture and you get things lined up, it's fun to make it. It's just.
Yeah, it's just you always have those tiny, or you have those instances.
You know, sometimes I'll just do like what you did, take the wall completely out and put a new wall in for some unknown reason. It works then.
So
like
then
she had an issue with her bathroom walls. Who knows why it wasn't working? Well, I have a bedroom. My door going into my bathroom, I can't get the wall out of there on the other side, but I've sort of got my door in position. See, there's your jar.
Yeah, there's a jar.
So maybe I should just be happy with a half a jar on my.
No.
I only put it there because of the color. I'm trying to bring in this fun theme and just have fun with it instead of a serious conservative house.
I get it. I just don't get why this.
Yeah, well, there you go.
On red axis. So I want it to be on red axis and not on the face. Now it's now it's saying so now it's on red axis.
Usually when it says on the face, I'm thrilled to see that little sign and I click it because I know it's sitting on something.
But I think it's thinking it's on the floor face for some reason instead of
Oh,
on the
okay.
face of the actual. I'm
I hear you.
trying to rotate, but it's taking 10,000 years. Okay. But
You know, I
really,
put a top on that thing.
hold on.
Is there a mirror behind it that, oh, there we go. There's supposed to, that's a mirror there.
Okay. So edit, undo, move.
But you know what, Allison, the last week when I was talking to you, we got so sidetracked with just getting my little icons up on my AutoCAD. I never got to.
That was necessary. I know you didn't get to answer your questions, but that was a huge deal.
It was a huge deal, but to me, that was just baby steps compared to the whole issue of the homework and flipping from getting these views sent to you. That's where I got into confusion. I never got those questions answered because I just couldn't even get into this new program now on.
Weird. This is the weirdest thing. Okay, so yeah, let's get past this. Let's pretend it really is a faulty jar for some reason, because when you're in the top view like that, things do work. I worked through it with Janice in past weeks and other students. But that's how you'd want to do is go to the top view and make sure your red axis is on. For exporting though, you go up to File, Export.
Yeah, 2D.
2D graphic. And this was where in the video I said you need to change it from DWG to JPEG. Yeah. So this is not working for you?
Well, okay, now I have to send you said 4 views of the parallel projection of the front of the house, and then I had a couple views coming down. It really showed a lot of the front room. I thought was cool. I mean, maybe.
Well, you needed to send a before and after. So you would.
Now, what's it before and after? Turn off the furniture and turn it on then?
No, it was in order to see that you were actually applying materials and painting your walls. Now I can see that by looking at your drawing, but I said if you had already done all this work before, then to show me right now, say what's in view on your screen, and then paint the top of that credenza another color, and then show me as a green and show me with the top red, so I can see that you're able to apply materials to different objects and or paint your walls. So a before and after of your room with some type of change to each of those rooms.
Oh, okay. That's easy enough.
Okay. And then, but then as far as you having trouble with sending me JPEGs, go ahead and when you do this right now, Huge Boathouse Project, then you click export. It's going to your desktop. So I click export. That's where you want to pay attention to the title usually. So I would have actually changed the Huge Boathouse Project to be master bedroom. And then you would come and get rid of your screen if it ever lets you.
Right, and then go into your desktop, and then that's when I would go into our class assignment browse computer, I go to my desktop and pull out those views that are in parallel projection, right?
No, it's where you would just send me this picture that you just exported. So see, Huge Boathouse Project? You send me this, JPEG. So all you need to do, like the parallel projection had nothing to do with AutoCAD. There should have been no AutoCAD with this project. It should have been purely exporting to your desktop or a file your JPEGs that I could review your SketchUp images and see that you know how to make JPEGs, because this will be what you want to send to a client as a PDF, or you know, you're going to use a JPEG in a presentation more than you're ever going to use the actual model, most likely.
Okay. All right. So then here's the other thing. When I first turned on my screen, I saw all this kitchen going on. Is that for the other class? Because you've already put a kitchen in.
That is for the other class. That's for these lab hours are shared for both my CAD class and my kitchen and bath class.
I started having a mini meltdown thinking I've got a whole new kitchen with everything.
Where's your kitchen layout, Josie? I need to know that you're
well, look at my bathroom layout. That's kind of cute.
It is.
I mean, maybe that'll give me bonus points to take up for all the confusion.
It might just frustrate you later because never mind.
What?
Well, I'm going to have this week, you're going to draw your walls into AutoCAD based off of whatever you did in SketchUp, but you'll be fine. It looks like you just moved the door and added furniture. So you'll end up exporting that furniture and drawing the rest of the pieces for your master bedroom and bath. But so yours will be a little different because I'm going to give everybody else the bath model.
Okay, look at my door right there going into my bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
See it?
Yeah.
On the other side of the wall, there's still a wall there. In the bathroom, there's still a wall there, not the door.
So let's go into your actual SketchUp model.
So I just want to verify real quick because I was confused too about the befores and the afters.
Mm-hmm.
So we're just putting the before on the desktop and then we're sending you that and then we're changing colors or textures within the drawing, saving those and then sending those as well, correct?
Yes. So for instance,
Okay.
I just exported this and it all depended on where you were at because some students got excited and they already started, you know, like Josie here. She already put in a bunch of extra stuff and furniture. So then I come along and I say, show me a before and after of what it'll look like once you really paint your walls. Well, she already really painted them. So what I was looking for from her was her to say, okay, here's what it really is, but I can show you that I know how to apply. So she would send me and it doesn't have to be to your desktop. You just have to make sure it's a JPEG. So she'd send me the first image that I just put to my desktop, and then she would come through and paint a wall so that I can see that she knows how to paint a wall.
I've painted lots of different walls, different colors. I've done the rugs and moved and copied, and it's been fun to do all this, but it's just getting that information to you.
Mm-hmm.
That's where my snag has been, how to transport that information to you so you can see that I'm doing it. And now that you've answered this one question, I'm wondering if I can send all these assignments to you. That should have a mirror in it, unless you change the rocks in that, because I had glass in that thing at one time.
I didn't change it within...
I didn't notice that earlier because I wondered if it was supposed to.
Yeah, I didn't notice a mirror in it. I only noticed the frame.
Okay.
But
okay. You know what? I downloaded a mirror. Maybe it's in the wall. Maybe the mirror.
That's where a lot of my stuff is.
It gets moved out. Here. Maybe that's the issue because I actually did download a mirror. See if you move it out if there's a wall in there.
You don't have to download. You could just come through and draw your own mirror.
I could put my own mirror in there now.
Yeah.
I'd make a rectangle and put a mirror in it and then maybe put it together as a group or something.
Well, yeah, because I'm in the group already, so I just double-clicked in the group and was going to draw the rectangle from corner to corner. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's what I would have done.
So,
Allison?
Yeah, go ahead, Janice.
I thought we were supposed to be exporting as an elevation, which was with that the parallel projection on projection. So
you are. I was just showing. She didn't even know how to get it to be a JPEG and what the point was of sending it as a JPEG. So we were reviewing. Once you get it out there, then what am I changing? Well, then I would come back and I would export the same view, this view, but showing the rock wall to show that I knew how to change my walls and my materials for the master bedroom, and I made some changes.
So the before pictures can be just whatever view we've got, and then the after picture of the same is in the parallel projection because that is the rendered elevation?
They should,
or are they both elevation?
They should have all been in elevation, yes.
Okay.
And I think that I have some students who didn't get that either. But my more concern is to see that you could apply the materials this week, and then we'll talk about people who didn't do it in elevation. So do you understand sending it in elevation, Josie?
I think if I'm getting this straight now, it would be like the front of the house you had where the one side was turquoise and then you had the gray on the other side. You took that in a parallel projection and then you exported that in a 2D and you went, did you do the JPEG there?
Yes, and it'll always be a JPEG that I'm exporting.
Okay. All right, great. And then do a couple different views. You suggested a couple different views in the JPEG and send that to you. That's easy. I wish I just didn't get it in my head. But, okay, that door, go to the other door on the other side of the room. Pull out and then go to the other door.
It's taking forever.
And that door is my little thorn.
This
The
guy?
bane of your existence.
Huh?
The bane of your existence, she said. This door is your
yes.
thorn?
Well, no, the door going into the bathroom.
All
This
right,
this door, on top of this door, you can see I had to add that piece in there.
Here?
Yeah, in my bathroom. How do you get out of my bathroom? Because my wall isn't busted through.
Oh, you're sneaking it. All right, let's
Isn't
see.
that cool, that picture above the sofa?
This one? Mm-hmm.
This one right there, because that's the one that I've started with, and everything I did was off of that picture, except my
Do
goofy
you have a
pillow.
demon-possessed pillow?
I know
look,
it does not.
it's floating.
It does not stay down. I don't
Floating.
care. Hey, is this the jar? Hello?
Is this the jar here in the corner?
The missing jar shot out in the grass again for who knows.
I'm glad it's not just me.
No, it's not just you, believe me. I
All
mean, you
right.
can look at this thing and say somebody has spent, like you said, a little time.
All right.
How those things are on the ground is a miracle.
Josie, are you doing something?
What?
Are you
I just-
moving right now? Because every time you're moving, then I can't move.
Oh, yeah. Here's my,
All right.
yeah,
I'll let you
working
move.
right now, but I'm getting that door. Yes, you're moving into it now. That's the door. And I didn't know, can you draw a rectangle after a door is in and then push it through? Or does it get stuck on the door? See, I have a door on the other
You could
side.
draw the rectangle after the door is like where you're, if you brought this door in as an object and set it here and got it mostly how you wanted it and then wanted to cut the opening, you could do that as long as the door is a different group, because it only matters what group you're drawing in. So if I'm drawing my door within this group, all right, so it
See,
looks like, yeah, it looks
I've made lines there. I just can't get it out. And I tried to push it through, and then I have, instead of a door on the other side, I have a flat wall.
okay. So 1 second.
Can you put your door for the bathroom anywhere?
She did. That's where I was telling her it's going to frustrate her because she'll have to just draw it how she has it in SketchUp. It won't take necessarily any more time because you'd be drawing it to you're just going to upload your furniture and then move the door how you want it in your plan. But I'll be giving you a SketchUp model with the door and everything. So
I just put the door there because it made sense to me.
yeah,
the location on that side of the room.
It does make sense with your drawing. So hold on.
Yeah, it's getting that door cut through. That's kind of a pickle. You know,
It disappeared.
I'm working on this job, this church I told you about in Bremen. I sent pictures to him last night because he was walking through with obviously I'm still in Arizona, but it's fun. But boy, there's so much I need to learn yet to be able to make this come off.
All right, so we have, how far did you bring this out? 4 and then up?
4 inches up 80, 36 over. And
then I'm on my green line. And then I'm on my blue line. Where are you, blue line?
There you go.
Oh, I lost it. Clicked too soon. There. Oh my gosh. And well, how it just clicked for me.
Got a line clear off the back, yeah.
Because
see, that's the stuff that happens to me.
Well, mine is trying to do your guys' control from my side is the most annoying thing. I'm sure it's as annoying as just working from Robin's computer. Because
that's right.
Point from outside active. What does that mean? Point from outside active. Does that mean you're on the floor now and not on the wall?
No, it was just trying to it was saying there was something that it's clicking from on the outside. All right. So I thought I was in the group when I drew my lines.
No, honey, it's a school night. You have to sleep in your own bed.
But Mom.
Coming off spring break, everybody wants their freedoms back.
I'm just going to draw a quick, I'm just trying to draw a quick rectangle to see if it has anything to do with. It looks like your face is weird.
I'm not surprised. It's not the first time I've told that.
All right, hold on. I cannot stand how slow this is moving. It really frustrates me. I really think that's half the battle with most students is it runs on a student computer that's not necessarily made for. See how that's cutting in and out of, it's above and behind the wall at the same time. I'm going to delete this and see what's going on. So I can see where you started to push through a wall.
Yeah.
On the other
Right.
side. Tan had this. I don't know if you ever ended up watching this class sessions video before, or it was a lab session. And
I tried to watch everything in sight.
I figured this out for her. But it did have something to do with once she pushed through on the other side and it didn't go through, then it messed up all her stuff. So let me see. It looks like you have this as its own, it's outside the group. This green, you know?
Oh.
So, because everything that's green means it's not in the door or in the actual wall group. Come on, computer. All right. So, if I rotate around, don't move your mouse, Josie.
I'm not touching that thing.
Okay. So I think it's, so your door is, so let's take this guy out for a minute. I get what you're saying, but let's move him about. Can you put that door in there?
I tried to rotate that guy out of there just to open it up so I could push it through them, thinking maybe that would work. So I had a knob in it at one time.
So here's another instance where I'd want to be in the top view. It says on green axis, but I don't see your axes.
On green axis.
There it is. Okay. And then it snapped off. Your computer drives me crazy. Undo move. Okay. So I want it to say on green axis, just
down
like
a little
that.
bit. It said green, and then you moved it up. Move toward the bed.
All right.
Say green.
It's
yeah, there it is.
All right. Okay. Click. All right, good. So that we know stayed on its axis. So then if we pan back over here,
maybe you could push that through right there.
possibly. I use my selection tool and check your lines. So here's one thing. You didn't draw these lines inside the group, which you have to be clicked inside the group in order to do that.
Okay, now when you say that, the wall needs to be green before I draw on it, correct?
You need to double click and then see that everything but the wall is green. So it looks like you had one line in there, but the other two you drew on the outside.
Okay.
Let me see if I can complete your door.
But you're drawing on the wall and it's not green.
It's not the wall we want green. We want everything but the wall green, showing us we're actively on the wall. Because the green is what you're not touching. It's what is not getting edited.
Okay.
So
that's the same problem I was having.
Yeah.
Correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Details.
Yeah.
So here I can
Oh.
see her wall pushing through, but then when I bring it back over here, so
That's what my wall does
this is what Ton had happened.
when I can get it to push. Yeah, when I can
So-
get it to push, it'll go one way or the other, but it won't disappear.
So then what I did for undo open. If I could do this faster, I could figure it out a lot faster. But it takes 10,000 seconds per each thing I do. All right. Let's pull this way out on that side. Because I had to do this for Ton where I deleted her entire wall. You can see there's a wall missing now. Does everybody see that? All right. So I'm going to draw back the missing wall. And this is where I'm always like, it's almost easier to just bring in the walls again, which we'll try with Robin here in a second. If I get my rectangle tool and I'm going to start from the end point and then rotate around. Oh my gosh.
I'm sure. Somehow.
I'm just trying to rotate to see the other corner. Okay, there we go. I'll see if this works. I just can't get it, like...
You're trying to redraw the wall, aren't you? The face of the other side of the wall.
Yeah, but it's lagging behind me, so I never know how far I'm turned.
Uh-huh.
Because I'm trying to...
There you go. You got a shot at it.
All right.
You got stuck on the door.
Let me see. I want to right-click something for a minute. Make group, intersect faces, smooth. I just want to like come to your guys' houses so I don't have to do it from
We'll
here.
come to yours.
There you go. I wouldn't mind that. Okay.
That would be wonderful. I wish I could come to campus when people are there.
Where's your house again, Robin?
I'm in Fort Wayne.
Oh yeah, you're at that far, far away land.
Road trip.
She said there's some meetings on site those last couple of weeks, she said last time, right? The work projects where we're just focusing on our final project, the walkthrough.
They might be now that I quit my job today, but they were really just going to be our normal in-class meetings online, but
Okay.
they're going to be devoted to questions and working on presentation tricks, so putting all of everything together.
Uh-huh.
But I possibly could be doing it from Ivy Tech at least,
Right.
if anyone would be interested in that.
So I would definitely come to that. When you have these snags like this, is it something that, I mean, if you just accept the fact, just like that jar, it wasn't going to move for me. So do you get to a point where you just accept it and move on, or?
I accept that right away. When, in honesty, well, here's one thing.
That's how I feel. I mean, I'm like, how long do I really devote? I mean, once I hit 15 hours on homework in a week, I'm like, I can't spend any more time,
yeah,
you
that's
know?
way too many hours to be spending on this. I think you would go faster just redrawing it from scratch, but that's where I'd have to see I have to see on Robin's side what is happening, because it works when I do it, obviously, and then once we got it into your model, it no longer worked. And I feel like there's something you're doing wrong, whether it's not getting into the group right away or whatever it is that you're doing every time. And once we train that behavior out of you, then it'll fix your whole problem, because the reality is, you know, obviously there's a right way to do it and it can work every time. Whenever I do it from scratch, it works. So there's a step that's getting missed or something's happening. It's not, and that's the point where, yes, I'm at a point in where I am with it that I would just redraw the walls, because it's faster to do that than figure out what went wrong. You'd spend probably 30 minutes fixing the walls and redoing it from scratch than you would completely trying to find this line, trying to delete a face.
Right.
So
my SketchUp just crashed.
Oh. Alice, I'm wondering, like with the homework, should I just wait to enter that till I'm sure I've got everything correct and enter it all in one browse session? Or could I add some stuff this time on the browse session, like the JPEGs of those parallel projection shots that I now get? Should I put that on this week's homework and just at least enter that much and just kind of cruise along at it?
I would prefer you, there you go. I would prefer you send it in the week that it was due. So wait, like get all of your views together in parallel projection and the befores and afters, and send that during the week, because it gets confusing for me.
Okay. So what I could do is work on that for the next 2 days to get all that homework lined up and send it in this week's homework, correct?
Correct.
All those different things in this. Okay.
So there you go. I've pushed through your wall.
Awesome.
But what I had to do was delete the one you pushed on the other side out, delete the entire wall on this side, redraw the wall so it was straight, and then draw the door from scratch. And in that time, you could have just uploaded the new walls and painted them and done it all over again, in my opinion.
Right.
But it's all about the group thing. So we're going to go over those steps again with Robin to see if you have a clean walls and you're going to start drawing a door, where do we not go wrong? So Robin, whenever you get that pulled up, in the meantime, Janice, what session are your questions on? Are they on the recent homework? Are they on past homework?
On session 11, where we're supposed to be doing the elevations and all the stuff that you've been talking about tonight.
Okay, so materials then.
I haven't sent any of those elevations in yet.
Okay, so sorry, I'm eating a hamburger. Let's just be clear though, because I know that there's students who have done it wrong, that I do want them in elevation view, because the point was to see where your furniture was off. So I'm going to use Josie. I'm going to get out of here really quick, and you can move your door into the hole now that I made the hole for you.
Oh, okay.
But I'm going to use yours as an example.
Yeah, go ahead. I'll let you do it.
Okay. So let's do an easy one. I'll call it easy. We talked about having appropriate things on layers you could toggle on and off in order to get a clear elevation. The easiest of those would probably be, or really you don't have to turn anything off if you want to come in here and do an elevation. But you might want to put, for instance, this furniture on a layer. I don't know if Josie's done that. I won't judge her.
I've done some things on a furniture layer. I've just now started trying to do that so I can turn things on and off.
So you'd want to, I'd want,
on furniture.
so this is on furniture, but so are these. And for your elevations, if you just want a clear shot of this room, that's where in the video I said, it's up to you how detailed you want to get. But if you came through to your layers, tools.
You have to do windows and layers.
Oh, my poor eye.
Windows.
You got this.
Windows.
I'm clicking it. It's just not going. So they're on. They're just hiding in the background somewhere.
Yeah. They're behind the screen meeting.
Oh, okay. So if we create a new layer and we start breaking it down into even smaller groups, dining, and then we click off, we created our layer, and then we right click entity info and put it on dining.
Oh, okay.
That way you can turn just dining off while you're looking at your...
Right. You know, I'm not sure how all those doorknobs got in there.
They come in automatically with the doors that you're downloading. They bring in all the layers with them. Anything you comes in through the warehouse, and then you have to go through and delete or put them on one layer if you don't want them to be on multiple layers like that. Okay, enter. So now that I have that on, I'm going to go ahead and make it not visible and zoom in closer within your model. And grab my pan tool. I am panning. It's just catching up with me. Pan until I'm got a good view. And then I'm going to orbit down.
Come on.
And keep orbiting until I'm closer to the view that I want. It takes forever. Okay. A little bit more over.
Come on, you can do it.
Speaking of, I'm going to save this, if it's okay with you, Josie.
Fine.
Because of the door.
Right.
Okay, so then if I go to camera, you can do it, standard views, and you have parallel projection on. You may
have to go all the way out and shut everything down and come back in because it's I've been spinning for it's having a meltdown, so
okay.
It matches me.
Oh, I'm sorry, Robin.
All right. Okay. I just wanted to let you know if I disappear, I'll be back.
Okay. I think this is the right one. We'll find out really quick.
You're doing a left projection, now you're looking through the window at the kitchen.
Yep. And then this is where I'm looking through the window, but I'm going to turn off the windows. God save us. The scrolling on this takes forever.
While you're doing that, Allison, the window by the window seat area,
Yeah.
it doesn't seem to be on. I have no window there. When I turn my windows on and off, it's just never there.
That's really strange. Maybe it got deleted somehow when you were drawing. It does exist. I know that.
So how do I put it back in? Because I have no idea when it, I mean, it's been days and days since it disappeared.
You would open the oldest version you have of the drawing with the window in it.
Okay.
Then you would select the window, so it's blue like the one in front of me right now.
Yep.
Then you would go to Edit, Copy, and then you would go into your new drawing and do Edit, Paste in Place, and that's it.
Okay, I can do that.
So let's see, I'm going to also turn off my windows. Honey, is this like sausage burger or something? Oh. I don't know if it would be faster if I was going to make you do this or not.
Windows.
Unclick Windows.
You have to turn your kitchen off too.
That should be on a layer. There you go. And then I'm going to,
Oh, pretty.
yeah, click this wall. And just for the sake of it, for now I'm going to put it, I'm just going to do this for the example, but you would want to put it on north wall or whatever side this is, so it's easier to turn them off by sides when you're going to look at your elevations. So for any info, I'll come up here and I'll put it on the kitchen layer since it's off. Do. And the same for the interior wall. I know it's a lot of steps, but
Okay, so this is what you're explaining is how to put north, south, east, west on its own layer.
well, yeah, what I'm explaining right now is the importance of turning off the layers that you want when you're trying to get to your elevation. And yeah, I would have wanted to put those not on the kitchen wall, but it's just one that's turning off, and I'm trying to skip steps as I go into this.
Okay.
So then I can zoom in easier without getting stuck in the walls.
Yeah.
What about things like the columns and that? And some of you guys, you've got those turned off, but I can't figure out how to get rid of them. Do I just...
You just would, oh my gosh, there we go. So you would just click the column, any part of it, whatever side of the column, and you might have to turn off each individual side.
Okay.
And I'll zoom in even more.
You're so creative.
I cannot handle this. How slow it is trying to control somebody else's. It's everyone's computers, and he stinks. Sorry, too much information on our side. My baby is disgusting right now. I want to show you how to do this. It's just really slow. Because you'd have to turn off a lot of things. So we would want to continue to turn off anything in the way of our parallel projection.
So that peak, that part of the siding that's coming out in a peak that's in front of the fireplace, can you put that on a different layer and turn that off and not the rest of the house?
Yeah, so I was in the wall layers, in the house layer, and within the house layer, once I double click into it and I can click the different faces, I could put them all of this on the north wall. So I could create a new layer and say north wall and then have it all turn off at once. And then
so even though the house is all together, you can separate it and put it on different layers.
Yes, correct.
Okay, that way you can turn off when you're trying to zoom in to get a picture so you don't have this wall in front of you and not lose the wall behind you.
Correct. And yet at the same time, as long as, so for now I have that on kitchen, the moment I turn kitchen on, because that's what I've put it on outside the group, then it comes on with that layer. The moment I turn house off, it turns everything
Delete it
off.
all. Yeah, except that piece. And you know why that's there? Because I accidentally deleted it. I had to go to an old one, cut, paste, and pull it back in here and try to position it so it might not even be in the right spot. But
Well,
it's in a
that's what the
computer.
paste in place is best for. You would have just selected those pieces and then put edit, paste in place, and it would put it exactly where it needs to go in your model. It would match your original model. So you wouldn't have to,
Really?
yep, so you wouldn't have to figure that out. So that's when, and I showed you
Oh,
that for your
wow.
stairs for this week because you're going to have to do some changes. So when you go to paste in place, if you're doing it from one similar model to another, like I could have
Yeah,
accidentally deleted this whole back wall off. I went into my
right.
old one and I click it until it's selected and then I copy and then I paste, it'll paste it right back into place in the new model.
Okay, but you can just click it and do C and then come back in and hit V.
That just pastes it. It doesn't, let's see, I don't think it gives you the menu when you do CV. If you don't do the edit command and do it,
Yeah, oh, so you have to go up on edit and cut it from edit on the old one.
yeah.
Select it.
Because if you do Control C and then Control V, this is a lot to paste. It doesn't give me the option to paste in place. It just pastes it. Like it doesn't.
Right.
It's not giving me any option to be more specific. It just drags it and drops it in.
But the edit, if you go down to edit and then
Paste in place. Yeah.
but you have to select it in an old model, then copy it, and then come into your new model and
Yes.
paste it. And
What
when
it's
you
doing
click
is
it,
the paste
how
in
does it know
place
where to go?
because it's so. Nothing changed hopefully about your models, right? You've just
Right.
deleted a wall. So your house,
Exactly.
SketchUp knows where your house is on its XY coordinates, just like in SketchUp or in AutoCAD, your house is actually physically on an XY axis coordinate. So
Okay.
by choosing paste in place, it's taking wherever that wall is, recording its coordinate, that you can't see it doing that, that's what it's doing,
Oh.
and then it's pasting it on that XY value.
Okay. When you click it in, do you need to click it in any particular spot or just paste and click it?
All you'll end up
Anywhere in the
doing
model.
once you go to paste it, when you click paste in place, it'll automatically be clicked in. It'll paste it, clicked in.
Oh.
You don't have to move it, touch it, drag it. It'll paste it right in place.
Oh, I'd like to do that a couple times just to see how that really works.
So yeah, we would want to continue to do, I just hate.
Work it on layers. It's going slow for you.
So since you're my model, I'll go ahead and add a new one. I think this is the north walls. Either way. So then if I come in here and I select this, and I can, if I want to do multiple ones in here instead of selecting 10,000 ones, see, this would be easier probably if it was you just on your computer, and then I hold shift and dang it like doesn't catch up with me, so I'm doing these commands before it's decided to rotate wherever I've chosen to be. Like right now I'm zooming out, but you can't tell I'm zooming out. I might just have you do it in the background, Josie, if it's okay.
Zoom out.
So what I was going to say is if you click in here and you get the face you want, my gosh, even I'm losing my patience, and that's very, very rare. So I'm in the walls. I have this. Then I click shift and I want to turn all these things off. If I was you, I would highlight the multiple things and faces so that I can turn or put all of those things on a layer. So I'm not just doing one at a time.
But right now you're doing one at a time, but you could hit is it shift or options for the Mac? You do shift and then click again to light up another area if you want to put it on like the south wall?
You would do, it should be
Shift.
shift as well on your computer to add and subtract. You can see that add minus button by my mouse because it wouldn't let me do that if I couldn't do it on a Mac. I know if I'm the presenter, it makes me use Mac keyboard things. I
Yeah.
can't even hit command on mine. I'd have to let
Okay.
you do that. But then
Okay.
if I right click and I do the entity info again, I have multiple things I've turned on and off. I can select their layer and there I could put them on the north wall that I've created.
So you're saying you want us to go in and do north, south, east, west walls because that way they're on their 4 different layers that you can turn off.
Yeah, that would be my suggestion. Some
got
people
one
break it
wall.
down even more. Some people you could do this section, you know, it's all up to you, but I think easiest to do north, south, east, west.
Yeah.
So then if I turn those off, I've turned off a larger group. Now I'd have to go in and select these lines and this part, and it's annoying, but at least it gets me to where I need to do my perspectives. And you could even end up doing, see, I just don't know, like usually you've seen me do it in class. I'm able to get a perspective even without turning all this stuff off. Coming up from behind it with having the furniture turned off.
You went through the window in the kitchen, remember?
Yeah,
That's how you
and it's just I can't scroll on your guys' fast enough to figure out how to get to that view. But it needs to be in parallel projection is what I'm getting at for the homework. Once you figure it out, and you zoom in close enough, I hope Robin makes it back in. Like I was able to come in here, zoom in. My gosh. I might make you figure this out in the background because I could not take how slow it is with me. It's because I'm on my own computer controlling yours, so it is absolutely obnoxious.
Yeah.
All right, I'm giving up because I cannot do it. But
right, so you need to go in here, zoom in here. But you need to get the parallel projection. But like you did say we could do some crazy shots. See, this thing needs to be turned off. That's the problem. I literally erased it, and that's why I lost it and didn't realize I forgot to unerase it.
what needs to be turned off? Yeah, that could be turned off. All the walls in front there, each of those lines would be turned off. And you'd have to go through and select them all by holding shift and select. But that thing's on its own layer, so you're not going to move that until you click on it. But I'm going to let you run that in the background, okay? And
okay, so if I want to get rid of it, I just have to click it, put it on its own layer.
Yeah, because you have that as a group, I think.
Yeah, that's the one I brought in that I accidentally erased because I was trying to zoom in and this big point was in my way. But because the screen's in the way now, I can't exactly see my layers, so I think I get what you're saying.
And then you notice that I turned the windows off, but I might want that front window on the north, just put it on the north wall so I can turn my whole wall off with the window, but keep those back windows on. So
yeah, so you could click those 2 back windows and put those on the back wall, turn them on, and put them on their own layer so that they could be turned on when you take that picture.
correct. And I think the best example, I'm going to take the screen back actually, if that's okay.
Okay.
You can work with your own, but it'll go faster for me to do it on mine. So if I make me the presenter showing my screen and I come through and I open. I'll give this a shot. That's not what I want. File. Session 10 stairs. Okay. Close out of all of these. Ivy Tech, AutoCAD. There we go. Don't painting, something's messed up. That's a great message to get. Come on, SketchUp. Okay. So within here, this is probably the best example that I can do. If I turn off of my deck, and then I put a bunch of stuff on south walls for view, and then I turn off my window because I've already taken into account all that stuff. I come back up here, I turn off my windows, and then I have a clear shot to this perspective of my master bedroom, right? Because I've turned all the layers off. I went through and I had to choose every line of that window because I didn't plan that out great originally to have it on its own layer. So now, once I've got all this like this is where I do camera, and then I go into standard views, and this view I believe is the right, okay, and now I make sure I have parallel projection on, and now I can get a true elevation which shows me my bed is on the rug is on the floor, nothing is floating, okay. So there's my true elevation, and this is the JPEG I was looking for you guys to do a before and after. So it'd be as simple as me saying File, Export, 2D Graphic, and I say Master Before, and then I click Export. Oh, I exported it. I broke my own rule.
You didn't do the JPEG, did you?
I know, no, I didn't. You're right. That's what I was just going to say. Because I have been exporting to AutoCAD for other things. So I always have to make sure, you're right, that it's on the right file type. So JPEG, export, and then master, before. I want to make sure it's not a drawing. Export. And then I would come through in the same elevation view, and I could just take a paint tool, and I have no idea what's selected right now, but if I painted that wall or changed the bedding or whatever I want to change, and then I'd say File, Export, 2D Graphic, Master, After. It's a JPEG, Export. Then I would, if I was you, I would go to the submission link, and that's where I would end up adding both of those images by wherever I downloaded them to. I wasn't paying attention even to my pathing, but I would find them. For instance, yours were on your desktop, and I would upload before and after in elevation with the material change. And you can fake it because you've already done yours. You could just paint a purple wall for the exercise of showing me that you know how to do it. I know you know how to do it, but that's just part of the grade and doing the homework. So the hardest thing is going to be putting things on layers for your elevations and figuring that all out. The perspectives are easy enough to not even have to turn off the layers or the walls to see around them and get a good perspective. But getting all
the elevation, that's where you have to turn off your wall so you can really come in there and see that parallel projection.
Correct. So I should have probably shown it to you all along on mine because that was a lot faster. But the same thing within here, you know, maybe look how easy this would be. I have that on the south wall because there's not much to this side of the house. If I came through and under my layers, I was to, let me move my default tray up. Come down to layers and turn off the chimney, I think is what I called that layer. Fireplace chimney. And if I had my artwork on the wall and this piece on different furniture, I could easily have a view of my kitchen and my dining room, which didn't take very long to do in elevation. So
So on the perspective, does it have to be straight on? What if you wanted to do like the bedroom from a corner? Can you do that?
that's the difference between perspective and elevation. So your perspectives are never straight on like an elevation.
Okay, that's
They're
what I thought.
they're showing the corner view, and that was the one where I said I could come around this corner, and I'm perfectly fine with those of you who want to somehow show some of the columns and different things on, or rotate until you don't have to have a bunch of, come on, SketchUp. You don't have to have all of your layers off to get a good perspective drawing. You know, you could rotate until you have, I think make sure you turn parallel projection off because it really jacks up your views. You see how easy it is now to do a perspective? So without turning anything off, I said I wouldn't mind anything.
What did you have on when you turned parallel? What did you do? Because you said parallel projection on just elevation.
Yep, only for elevations. You want to have the camera standard view picked. So for the back side, it's right. For the front side, it's left. Then you want to also have parallel projection checked because that puts things into elevation. But you have to do the view first, the camera view first, and then your parallel projection. So I'll do right. And because parallel projection's checked, it automatically threw it into this view, which is perfectly straight on. But if I turn off parallel projection,
right, and then perspective is if it's just you can click perspective or just not click anything.
Just unclick your parallel projection, and perspective doesn't really affect anything, whether it's on or off, to be honest with you. It's going to snap it in a little bit better. I think it helps. Let's see the difference. So without perspective on, basically it's making it not a true perspective. So you can see it's slimming the house, coming to one vantage point. So yes, it seems it would help you to have perspective on. I usually always have it on, so that's, with it on, it allows you to flatten it out and have your room be in a nice perspective coming from multiple vantage points, like an isometric.
Okay. So elevation always has parallel projection. If you just want perspective, don't sweat the parallel projection, right? It doesn't have to be that flat look on the perspective.
Correct.
You said that could be, okay.
Your perspective should never be the flat look of an elevation.
You want the three-dimensional.
Okay.
Correct.
But when you export all those, it's always the 2D, isn't it?
Yep, it's always 2D.
3D. You always do 2D and JPEG.
Correct.
Okay.
So these, were the views I was looking for your perspective, or, any view in perspective. Just a nice view of your room. It could have been this way, looking in, as long as your walls are on, looking into the multiple rooms, or through the kitchen is what I did in class by coming back and around. It's just the hard part will be your elevations and figuring out which walls make it easier for you to do that. Obviously, it seems like this is a lot more to turn on and off than this back wall, so if you could put your furniture back here on your living room furniture layer, you could easily have, and put this on dining table, turn it off, you could get a good view of your kitchen in perspective without doing much to it. But it depends on the perspective that you want, on what you want to turn off to see that perspective. So,
are those pillars on their own layer?
They are on the house layer as well.
Oh, okay. So you could actually put the pillars on their own layer?
Yeah, it looks like within the house layer, I'm going to triple click. These could be, you could click those to be on their own layer, or you could click this side to be on its own layer, and that'll turn all of it off except for the beams.
Right, but at least it would be out of the view range if you're doing a...
Yes.
Okay.
Hey, it looks like it was.
You can also turn the beams off, correct?
I think so, but I thought I was just able to click on it as one layer. It just depends, because I built it all as a house, but then I also broke it up into pieces. So it was kind of, for a second there, giving me the middle part. So let's see if I put this on the kitchen layer just to see what happens. Nope, it couldn't. So entity info, and I'll put it on kitchen, and we'll find out really quick if you can turn that whole section off. So if I put that on kitchen and then I come through to my layers and I find kitchen and I toggle it off, there turned all of those off except for the beams, so it turned all the one side off and it left obviously our new walls.
Because I'm having trouble with the beams being in the way as I'm trying to put wall sconces on that wall in that middle space.
You're trying to
So,
put them on here?
Yes. And they keep floating up, and I know you're supposed to do it from the top view, but you can't see the wall.
Oh, you're saying
So
the beams are. So
yeah,
let's see. It looks like the beams are on their own layer as well. So I have them highlighted right now, and you could turn them off. And I'll do that by doing let's see if we put it on kitchen, how much of it, yep, they'll all disappear.
Okay, that's fabulous, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
When you have on this homework that to do a separate drawing, apply a photo texture to an item you will bring in from the warehouse, and that same drawing. So is that like where we did our mantle, the profile of our mantle that we turned in last time?
Oh,
is that what you're talking, or you want or is it supposed to be like in a layout drawing, or what is it? What do you mean by the drawing?
I just mean a separate SketchUp file. So start a new SketchUp file from scratch and just have those items in it. So you're not bringing it into your boathouse.
Okay, that helps a lot.
Does that make sense to you, Josie? Because I think you sent it as something within your boathouse.
What did I?
For
you mean as far as
how you were applying, you put your picture on the wall and then you had your frame. I had asked for that in a separate drawing.
Yeah, I was just off the beam at that point.
Gotcha.
I was on overdrive. Okay, so but you wanted a personal picture, so I'm sitting here on my pictures that I get ridiculous. And then you wanted to bring those into the house, because I saw how you did the cat, but you thought we could do a personal picture. So then I'm thinking, do I take that to my desktop, send the picture to or do a screenshot, take it to my desktop?
That was where I was talking about drawing it in a separate drawing, though. So I wanted you to open a new drawing.
In SketchUp.
In SketchUp.
Mm-hmm.
A brand new drawing. So then it's trying to think about doing it. Okay, so here's a new drawing. Yeah. And then that's where I was saying you could end up doing or I'll delete Rosie the Riveter here. Or actually, the easier way was to do a rectangle the size of whatever your frame was going to be. So if it was 2 inches by 2 inches, comma, 24 inches, enter. So here's my little picture that I've drawn, and then I want to bring it up however high I want it to be. So I could say 24 inches, enter. And then after you get it this far, you have created a canvas. This is where I want you to import your picture of you. So if I say import as
So can that be a picture from like our photo stuff that we've put maybe on the desktop?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So here I said import. I selected JPEG, and then it allows me to choose image, texture, or new match photo. I want image. Then I would go to my pictures, and here's one I have for my kitchen and bath class. And I click import. Then I click to the corner, and I click to the other corner, and there it's applied to my canvas. Then I'd come through and I'd go 1, 2, 3, and it selected my canvas and my image, and I say make a group. So now my hopes is that yes, it's a canvas with the image on it, and that would be your family photo. I just imported whatever JPEG. It has to be a JPEG that you bring in. And
Okay.
all photos should be JPEGs most likely, unless they're PNG, but from your camera saved to your computer, it'll be a JPEG. And then from there, so that's really your framed photo, but if you wanted to add a frame to it, you could have thought about whatever size this guy was. So he was 2 by 24 by 24, so I think he's a square. I could end up saying, there's lots of ways to go about this, but if I say rectangle, sorry. 2 inches, comma, 28 inches, and I push that up 28 inches. All right, and then from there, I say, so 24, I think it's 4 inches bigger all the way around then. I'm having like a math block, so 24.
Could you have just made a larger picture and offset it and then laid that thing in the middle of it?
You're saying if I took this guy?
Yeah, why don't you just make your square 28 square to start with, offset it 2 inches, and then put that picture in the middle? Do you have to do it separately like that?
You don't have to. I like to create a group just like I was building a frame and then having it around my other objects, but you're saying if we did this,
You could make one group. The whole thing could have been done in one shot if you would have offset it and made that black frame. And
yeah, you could
put
have
your
done
picture.
that. I get what you're saying, offset the lines in and then just put your
Yeah.
picture here and then had it been a frame on the outside and then you could have
Right.
pulled it forward.
Or you could have, no, let's see, scale it to meet the lines in them. But the push-pull, that was kind of confusing. You just made it a little thicker, didn't you? When you did the push-pull, you gave it dimension.
So you could have offset it like this is what you're saying, and then when you went to File, Import, you could have done this, Import, chosen the inner square.
Exactly.
Then
oh my gosh, that would have been so much easier than what I did. Holy crap.
what did you do?
I brought in a picture frame from the 3D warehouse.
Yeah.
And then tried to resize it, and then I had to try to get the picture into the frame.
That to me makes more sense. How now that would you put that all together in a group and then send it to your desktop and then import it into your new SketchUp or your Boathouse SketchUp and stick it on the wall somewhere?
1, 2, 3.
I would think so.
Yep. So then it would be a group. It's just like a framed photo, and then you could just you don't have to save it. You could just copy it from here and then open up your other SketchUp drawing that you have going on. So here's a different one, and edit, paste, and then bring it in that way. But
okay.
Where's your picture?
Where's my picture? That's a great question. So let's go back to here.
See, that's what would have happened to me if I tried to do that. I'm the poster child for everything that could go wrong.
You didn't have it selected, did you? Did you make that picture part of the group?
So edit, copy. No, yeah, I think I did have it selected. If you could see it from my other... Oh my gosh, Hunter.
I love it. I think it's fun. He and Crimson would have a blast together.
Well, she's not that much older, 4 months.
No, she's really not, yeah.
So
they have a good time.
Let me try this if you really think it's outside of it. So now it's explode. See, it was in there because I just exploded that group and the picture disappeared. Let me ask my lifeline if he knows. Hey, honey. So I have the photo in the group. Yeah, it's definitely in there. But it's not in there. So it's kind of confusing. So it's not in the group. Edit, undo, close.
If you try to move that frame, does the picture go with it? Because that was the problem I had too.
So
Even though I
here's,
had made it a group, I would try to like move the whole frame and then the picture would stay in place.
so let's see if I select it this way, except delete her from the background. So then I have everything selected, and then I make it a group. Then I copy it, and then I paste it into the new drawing. Edit, paste. Okay, so it looks like it
wasn't part of the group.
Yeah, it really wasn't part of the group when
So
I made
what
it.
if you do a fencing thing over it?
Yeah,
Select
crossing
it, make
tool.
it group, and then you know you've got it.
Yeah, because then that way, before I had triple clicked and it seemed to not want to take the picture with it, so by crossing over it, I knew that it was inside the realm of my tool, so it took everything. But yeah,
What was the other option that you started to tell us?
oh, I was going to say, so I created this as a separate frame because I like to think of them as different, and then in that, honey, do you use the offset tool? Never mind. So if I come in here and then I choose the offset tool and then I start to offset this way and then I push through, and right now I wasn't paying attention to any of it. I want to actually push this forward, and it could be whatever thickness I want it to be, and I delete out the back. I could just create, I could have brought in the picture and snapped it to the back so there's some thickness to it. Or, and then put this frame on whatever picture I had. So if I figure out the dimensions of my picture on a canvas, I could just snap this to the face of it. So then if I come out here and I move this, and now it's not going to match the size of it.
Why don't you, can you change the can you change it by doing the
scale?
Scale.
You could. Or like right now, basically I have it matted because I just have the frame within it, and then I could select everything and make that an entire group. So then it's
you can
matted and framed.
Okay.
And then edit, copy, and we'll see if this one worked.
Message is received from Loverboy.
There you go. Okay. So that's one way, or I was just thinking about what Josie was saying, where if we were in here and we edit, undo, move a couple times. If I did create it like this and I insetted it on the face of there, and then I get in my group and I draw an edge around the outside of my picture, that should allow me to, let's see. You can do it, Guy. All right. So then I don't think I was on the face of it. So let's see. This has to be on the face for this to work. We'll find out real quick. Push. There we go. So I just drew around the picture, and then I could say 2 inches, and both ways are viable options, but then it's all one solid piece to the back to it.
Okay.
So I had the picture offset in and then just traced around it, making sure I was on the face.
And then just pushed it back.
Yep, and then just push the frame forward. But yeah, you could do either way.
Yeah.
But that's how I do it more so than unless you want a very ornate frame from the gallery, and then you have to make sure you snap it to the face and everything and all that fancy jazz. But I think, looking at people's homework, one second, I want to check something. There's Joey.
I have a couple more questions, Allison.
Nope, you were at your limit for tonight. Okay, so
You've
go
answered
ahead.
a lot of my questions.
Go ahead, Janice. I know. I'm sure.
On my drawing, the bathroom door,
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't, the one going into the master bedroom is fine.
Okay.
They're the exact same doors. But the one going into the bathroom, it's like the space is too short. So I've got this white bar across the, or blank across the top where the last two panels are.
Uh-huh.
And if we pull that down, then the rest of the door sinks into the floor.
All right, well, one second. Let me find the screen sharing and we'll give you it. Janice.
You want me to
Yes.
pull my SketchUp up?
Yeah. I'm almost tempted to have you guys just send me your SketchUp files so I can use them on my computer. But here it is.
Okay, so going to, let's see, I have this written down because I can't seem to remember it every time I want to go to it. I want to go to the front. Oops.
Did anyone start their homework for this week that was delayed, or we're all still in materials?
Now, I feel like I need to get this straightened out before I even try to move on, but that's just me.
Just checking.
I'm done.
Nicole's done. Nicole, I was looking at your material, so then I was wondering, oh my gosh, there's a baby
going
hitting my
through
toes. Did you
What
do
I
yours
want.
as elevations, I know I had graded yours and given it back, but the more I thought about it, they were right that it should have been in parallel projection. I know some of them were, but I just don't know if all of them were.
Mine?
Nicole.
Yeah, I mean, I did all of them. I did the 4 before and afters in parallel, and then I did 2 perspectives.
Was that the reason in parallel projection that some of them were missing the walls?
I'm not sure.
Because that is what my comment was on your homework, was that for the living room, I believe, before and after, there's no walls and I can see all of the trees and everything. So I thought maybe it was just that you had too many layers off
Okay.
because you were trying to get to that parallel projection.
I'm trying to go to my living room.
All right, Janice. You moved.
I didn't have my drapes out of the way.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah.
Okay.
I guess
So I've got 2 issues
that.
going.
All right. I'll get
With
back with Nicole.
Door
in a
is
second.
fine,
There's your door. Yep.
but I can't get rid of this line, and it's on both sides of the wall.
All right. So go ahead and you have your selection tool. Try and click on the line right now, just to humor me. Okay. Hit delete.
Okay, now it's working. I tried it. I promise I tried it before. I was doing from the other side, so maybe that's what happened.
Well, let's check the other side now and see if it's on there and you need to delete it as well.
Oops. Okay.
Oh, so those
Okay.
were just guidelines, but yeah, you can click and delete those like you are.
I can't see if, is that blue, highlighted in blue? I cannot tell.
It is not.
Well, I'll work on that.
All right. What
Right.
else is it? What's another question, Janice?
Okay, let me get back into this space. Okay, if you look at my door here,
Mm-hmm.
If I select that,
Mm-hmm.
and I move it so it's not sinking into the floor,
Mm-hmm.
so I've got it there, then I have this up there, and I don't know why.
That's because your door needs to scale down. I can't tell because your door was in the way where your actual frame cutout is, but I'm assuming your door that you have there is higher than the 80 inches.
But I measured everything, and I thought it was all, I mean, it's this exact same door.
So let's use your measuring tool and measure from the bottom of the door to the top of the door. Yep. Keep going.
So that's including the frame?
Yep. 8 foot. Okay.
All right, well, that's crooked. Let me do it from the, so that's, right, 7 feet is what, 80?
5, I think. Let's see.
That's 84 inches?
Yep.
No.
I think so. 1 second. CC.
So I've got it's too tall.
12 equals 84. Yep. So you need to scale it down.
Oops. Because I know for sure it's the right.
So see, yeah, you can see your cutout hole, but your cutout looks maybe too short.
I know.
Do we want to check it and question why it's so short?
You want me just to, well, it moved, so.
There's something really weird about those two diagonal lines.
You know, I have them all over the house in places that it's like, I don't know. That was my other question. I do not know. And then I have, now right now you can't, well, under the bed near the wall over here, I put a plant on the other side, and this was part of it. And normally I can just explode it and get rid of all of this. But when I do that, the floor completely disappears in that area.
Okay, so hold on.
Biggest things.
Can you give me your controls? I'm going to hate to have to do it. And you got suddenly much quieter, Janice. I don't know if it's maybe I did it on my side. My husband always tells me there's a volume control on my headset, but.
Okay, is that better?
Better, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so let's edit under your door while we're trying to figure it out, because I think we do better with how it was in the straight view of it.
Well, okay,
I have it, so.
Okay.
Edit. I'm clicking.
I'm glad to know mine's not the only slow wheel turning.
It's just that I'm clicking. You see me clicking up there and nothing is happening. I'm going to hit escape. Earl, seriously? Okay, come on. You try clicking edit because it's not letting me.
I hope it's not freezing up on me. I've had a lot of trouble with that. Okay, here we go.
Okay, undo scale. All right, leave that there. Then as far as your plant floor item goes, that weird rug that's showing there, go ahead and use your selection tool. There you go, thank you. And click, yeah, just click there. All right, now double click. Now click. All right, I'm gonna, yep. What? Now click delete. There you go. Okay, now rotate to the other side of the wall because you're saying there's a plant on the other side?
Yep.
There you go.
There.
Okay, so we deleted that but kept the floor. Because you did want that gone, right? That rectangle of whatever it was?
Oh yeah, I did because it looked like tile.
Okay, so now you want to get your selection tool and click one of the lines. Make sure you're clicked on the line until it's blue. Then you could hold shift and click the other line.
Yeah.
Yay! Now click delete. All right, and then rotate until you see that other line outside of your plant. It's a little ways past your plant. The other two lines that are making up the other corner. There you go.
Those.
Yep, and just delete those as well.
Okay, problem solved.
And then double click out.
Yay.
All right, so then you can move your plant, or if that's where it's supposed to be, it stays there.
Yeah, that's what I wanted.
Okay,
So I was
so
trying to figure out the whole
door thing.
door.
All right, so I'm going to take the controls from you, and it says you have them, but if you could give them
Do I have
back.
to get back to you?
I think so. I'm trying to move my mouse, nothing's happening.
Sure. But see, even over in the on the column over behind the dining room tables, I've got one of those crazy lines.
I don't know, Janice. I don't think you gave them to me.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll have to get those crazy lines. Let me now take them. Okay, so I'm going to use your measuring tape. I don't know, it's not happy about me using your controls. There's the 7'9". And then, let's see, I'm
Am I
going,
better off to delete that and start over with that?
not necessarily.
Okay.
So I'm going to just move this on the arrow over. So I push the arrow over the left so it clicked to the green axis.
Okay.
And now I'm going to measure and see what's up with the door. How high is it? 6'8". So what does that give me?
So 6 foot is 72, so that is 70.
It's 80. Or
Yeah,
78. Yeah, 80.
yeah, that should be 80 inches.
Okay, and that's what we want, right? So it is right. It just maybe seems weird because of the perspective, but you're saying you copied this same door over here.
Yep.
So let's measure this door. My cat is driving me crazy. Nope, this one's smaller.
Okay.
So
I should just copy that one and put that one over there and delete the other?
sounds really easy, doesn't it? I'll just copy that one. So let's see if we can't. I don't know if it's 90, 180. Okay. And maybe pick an endpoint. So let's see the difference. All right, so.
Wow.
Oh, I moved it instead of copying it. You gotta be kidding me. I'm gonna click your selection tool. Janice, do not click your mouse.
I didn't touch anything.
It's so weird. It says you're controlling it. All right, so if I can get out of here, I'm hitting escape right now. Maybe you have to do it. Okay, so you hit escape for me. Okay,
Sure.
it looks like yours is doing the weird thing too anyway. Okay, so now we're out of that. Yay. No, we're not. Still stuck in that. It wants to rotate. There we go.
Okay.
Okay, so then if I copy the door instead, edit, copy. And I don't know that you want your handle on that side, so you might have to rotate your door again.
I can rotate it.
Yeah, if you can, so do you know how to copy it then from there to there? You can do that just fine.
I think I can probably figure it out.
Okay,
Yeah.
and then we'll just delete this
Just
guy
delete
then.
that.
Delete. All right, good. So then let's,
Because I wanted that to be my elevation, and the door just looks so wrong, and okay.
weird. So your wall, you somehow have done something to the wall where it's not flat. I don't remember those lines always being there, you know,
They weren't always there.
but now it's saying that your wall is no longer truly a flat wall. It has these pieces of diamond cut out of it somehow.
Yep. And it's not the only room that has that. And I have no idea what happened.
All right. It looks like something when you were cutting your door. Did you end up trying to build this wall, or when you cut it out, it was a nice clean cutout? Because we did that
It was
together,
nice
didn't
and
we?
clean. I had all that stuff done, and this just appeared like in the last couple of days.
Okay. I'm going to try and fix it by deleting out all the weird pieces and getting it to where it's flat and drawing a line. So there. There. Then I should be able to delete those two, and it should technically become one piece if it's flat now. All right, perfect. Somehow it just turned into triangles. So what I did was I saw that those triangles were three-dimensional, so I deleted out all the three-dimensional pieces until it was just flat paper pieces, giving me points I could connect to fill the face back in.
Okay. But now why did it not connect with the exterior wall?
Because each side of the wall has a face, and we only fixed one face because it's not a solid object. So you can see this whole face seems to feel like it was not right to begin with for some reason. So I'd have to come through and...
Like the wall is, the headboard and the picture are now in the bathroom and the nightstands.
So they maybe that's what happened was, so if I grab these two guys and I hit shift and I move them, and I'll do 2 inches. That should get them closer because it seems like they're just on the edge of the wall. So they're probably right on the other side of the wall from what I know about walls. Then if we come here and turn this into a rectangle, and I don't know again how your wall got off, but let's see if it'll, well, you say okay, but we still have to make sure we can delete that. Okay, so it is okay.
Oh, and I don't have the exterior walls, you know, the house walls on, so will that wall then connect with the
This one?
outside?
It should. I don't think that was your issue at all. I think it was just that somehow you got it.
But look over by the other doorway.
See, you can tell it's on the line. All right.
Okay, but look at the other doorway. It's hanging into the wall.
This was the one where we talked about when we drew it in, you and I separately.
Right.
All that happened was this was pushed out a little bit extra. So it wasn't hurting anything by being out further. I could just push it in until it lines up with the edge, if that makes you feel better. And there you go. Problem
But
solved.
then I don't get 4 inches there, do I?
Yeah, you do. That's 4 inches. Pretty sure. So it's 3 5/16, which is pretty darn close to 4 for what we're trying to accomplish with our elevations.
Okay.
So it's okay. Something's pausing on me. I'm going to stop moving and then you can save
Okay.
to make sure that it saves all the changes. But yeah, anywhere there, you want to show me another place where you have triangles, and you can fix them yourself, but let's see if it's the same issue, that you somehow changed the geometry. Robin, did you get both models open, or are you still struggling with it?
I've already got the walls in the house, and I saved them as a group.
Woohoo!
There we go.
So let's
I'm
see. Okay. Where else do you have these triangles at? Or lines? And Janice. Oh, Janice.
Yeah.
What are the odds that another student moved her water just like Robin? I
Oh my goodness.
wonder why you guys keep doing that.
Oh, she sure did.
I haven't seen that yet.
All right.
I think the only reason I noticed mine was because I had green grass in my house.
Well, let's figure this out. Well, Janice, that's an easy thing too.
They
But
just move it in.
yeah, you're
Move
gonna
the grass and move the water.
no, you move the water. So, well, you could move the grass, and that's a good question. I'd have to see a little bit more zoomed out of your, I think you moved the grass. Is that correct, what we did with you, Robin, today? I believe we moved the grass to click to the water.
Yes. Yes.
All right, so, yep, you want to move your grass. I can tell because the grass is overlapping here. So the easiest way is to move this point to this point. So
And even though the water is in the grass on the other side?
Yep. All right. Problem solved. Okay, so that's done. Now, I'm going to switch back to Robin's model, and you can work in the background to find another area that you want to fix. So I'm going to switch to model, Robin.
Okay.
All right, so you've got them in here, and they're a group, and you're ready to draw a door. Let's draw that door right there. So keep your door away from everything for now. And then double click to get into your group. All right. Then however you want to do it, your tape measure, your line tool. Yep. And come over 4 inches. Okay, so it looks like it already drew that. Yep. Then up 80, I think is what we decided. 36. There, blue. Yep, so make sure it's the blue axis. And then hopefully you click on that after you click off of there. Oh my gosh, Robin, you're killing me. Is it loading? Hold on. What in the Lord's name? Okay. Bear with me now. Undo drawing your door. We're going to try this one last way. And then, had you started trying to do this on your own before I came in to like help you? Had you drawn any lines?
Who are you talking to?
I'm talking to Robin.
Okay, sorry.
Had you already started in that corner and drawn a line? Robin? I cannot hear you. Your mic is off.
There?
Now I can hear you.
Are you there?
Mhm.
Okay, I'm sorry. No, I didn't touch anything at all. I did the copy and I pasted it in place.
Okay.
Then I triple clicked and made it a group, and then I didn't touch anything else.
Okay. So go ahead and choose your line tool again. And then,
4 inches.
yep, 4 inches. Make sure it's on the blue axis. It says from point outside of active.
What is it doing? Oh, that was really weird. Okay.
Endpoint and group.
Okay. So there it is. 80
On face.
up.
Yep. Okay. Perfect. And I like that it says on face and group.
36 over.
Blue line.
Blue, blue, blue. Blue line.
All right.
Okay. Yay!
Oh my gosh. Thank the Lord above. I was ready to be like, you know what?
No.
I quit my job for nothing. We are. Okay.
All right. Well, let's see if I can. Okay. This is where it never works either.
So click. So this is
So
where.
how do I get rid of it from here then?
So undo, like I think what you did is you clicked once and you didn't realize it. So undo this, like stop what you're doing, hit edit. Okay, so from here, no, you're good, you're good, you're good.
Okay, hold on, it's thinking.
So you might have to, if it does undo your line, you'll just redo your line. But I want you to get a little closer.
I didn't click on that.
I want you to get a little closer to your door and then use the push-pull tool. Okay. And pull up. No, come back out a little bit. I want to see the top frame of the wall too. So the 3D perspective of the wall in the view. Okay.
Like that?
So click a little bit closer to the top of the cutout. So you can, yep, click.
One click?
Yep, one click.
Okay.
And then then drag your cursor to the far edge of the upper part of the door frame. Like where that thickness is.
Left or right?
Just forward, but you don't click. Yep, click.
Now click?
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, you've got to be kidding me.
Nothing happened.
All right. Give me your controls.
Okay.
I'll do the same thing you just did. I have the control. I'm clicking. All right. So I feel like it got pushed pull. Undo. Yeah. Cancel this crap. Close. Edit. Undo push pull. So now nothing's push pulled. So then if I click here and I click on edge. Why are you like this?
Ever since you have showed us how to do these doors, I have yet to make it happen.
That is
I have drawn both of these doors and pushed them out probably 100 times. I'm not exaggerating.
If I edit undo the line, edit redo the line. So nothing is push pull through. something is stopping it. Oh, watch your head. It's like it's just falling short of making it through. Erin, I have no idea. She drew all the lines right on this door from scratch on the face of it. It mates the frame, and then when you go to push, yeah, then so she drew all the lines from scratch on the frame, and then you go to push through, and then she clicks to the edge, and it doesn't disappear. What did you do?
Hit the control button. Click it. To the edge. What was that? No. I don't know. And are you on that object?
Yes.
On that wall? Or
Yeah.
selectable?
Yeah, because see, you can pull it this way through, and you can push it all the way through, but it's not deleting. See, it looks like there's an extra wall or something going on in there.
Can you select that wall separate? No, you're not in that group. You're being able to select this because you made a rectangle. So if you cut that, actually go inside this group, and then paste in place, you will find that you will now be able to protrude it through.
So we just weren't far enough
You weren't
into
in
the...
the group.
Wow.
Wow, what happened?
The door because you made a rectangle.
He was saying,
Does that make sense?
yeah, but it seemed like we were in the group because everything in the background was green. You know what I mean?
But that object was not, that face was not selectable, like you see that.
So it has to be the dotted like
Yeah,
this.
that face has to be selectable to be able to protrude through.
Okay. So what Erin was saying is even though you were in the group, you have to have the face selected when you're drawing the frame.
It doesn't matter that it's selected, it's just you have to make sure that face can be selected.
Yeah, that the face is able to have the dots patterned on it. So if we go back out, undo it, edit undo, we're going to do it from scratch. Okay. So now I'm outside it. I can tell because everything can be selected. So then if I double click within here, and now I can see I'm actually in that wall, then if you draw your door, it'll work.
Okay.
So you want to try it again? So then you can have the...
Yes, because I have to learn this.
Okay. I think it's just that I automatically do it on the screen. You know, I usually keep clicking until I'm at the inmost part of the object, but...
It's my 4 inches. Oh, uh-oh.
No.
It's the spinning wheel of death. Hey, okay. 80 inches. 36 inches. I will never forget the dimensions of this door.
All right, let's push it.
Okay.
Push it to the limit.
And then I click up here.
To the edge, yep.
Yay!
All right, let's do another door. Let's do the other one.
Let me save this one first. I don't trust it. It's Trixie. Gosh. I was seriously debating maybe not bringing in any more stuff, even though I would like to.
Uh-huh.
What are your thoughts on that? Some of, like, my dining room is kind of sparse, but you said the more you bring in, the bigger it gets, the slower it runs.
I got you. I see the thought process.
So Yeah, what are your thoughts? Do you want me to go ahead and do it? Do you want to see what I have and
Hold on. Is there a
Yeah,
way,
okay.
because the more things you load into your model, the bigger it gets, the slower it runs. Is there a way to consolidate anything within it as far as items to make them smaller or worth less?
Not necessarily. The only way to speed it up would be changing your view, like not viewing geometry or edges so that it doesn't have to load that in.
So the edges would make that much of a
I'm
difference?
just saying that would help.
Gotcha.
There's different sort of, or shutting off the layers that are unnecessary at that time.
Oh, really? That'll help?
I'm assuming. I don't know. I'd have to research it.
You're supposed to know, honey.
You're supposed
Whatever
to
I
know it
don't
all.
know, you're supposed to know. Yeah. Well, you could give that a try, and we can research that on our end, that while you're drawing, if you don't have certain layers or parts of your house on. But, I mean, eventually,
Okay.
that would reduce the rendering speed of it turning and orbiting and all of those things. But
Okay.
let's see how you do on drawing this.
I'm gonna
So
try-
wait,
yeah,
so
I'm
wait.
gonna pull this.
Did you make sure your door wall is dotty patterned?
No, details.
Well, that was the biggest detail, so we want to make sure.
I know. Oh, I know.
Selection.
That's where I get tripped up,
Selection.
I think.
All right, well, click the grayer part because that's where it's going to get cut out of. Okay. So I think I already have it set up. That line that's going up is 4. You just need to go up
The 4.
80. Yeah.
Okay.
Because I had brought it in as a little snaggy piece. All right. Over 36. And actually, that'll be all you need to do because you already have 2 lines.
Did it go? Did it take my 80?
It did, but hold on. Scroll out a little bit. Not too far. Pan up a little bit so we can see the whole wall. If you use your selection tool,
My
Robin.
arrow?
No, your your arrow. And select the line, that line closer to the top. Yeah, the line that you're
This
on.
one?
No, the one for the 4 inches. I'm just saying select a higher part. Or if you give me, yep, like close a little bit, yep. Yeah, the line. Not that one, the one over. The vertical line. Yes. Select it
Okay.
up more where it's past the 80. You know what I'm saying? Like, so then you could delete out the extra part that's preventing you from seeing your 80. So
Why isn't my wall dotty? There we go. Okay, right here.
yeah. Go ahead and click delete and we'll see if it's underneath it because you drew the 81 as far as I know. If not, then we'll just draw it from scratch because it'll still hold that 4, I think, at the bottom.
Okay, so it's not there.
Okay, so there you are. Okay, keep going. We'll try it. 80. Okay. We'll see.
My dotted lines left.
Oh. Sorry. What you doing? All right.
No, you had the controls for a minute. Okay. I have the controls now?
Yep.
Okay. So I lost my dotted walls. Are we concerned?
Well, let's click your selection tool, your arrow. Then click where
Okay.
you hope there's a door. Okay, looks good to me. Then push it through.
Right.
Ooh, you pushed it way too far. There. Yep, on edge, where it said on edge. Other edge.
And then just click
The back edge. You have to be on the back.
back edge.
Yep.
Okay.
Ooh.
No, I didn't like it.
Go ahead and click Can you grab your selection tool here? I'll do it for you really quick. Then see if it's even. Delete. I'm trying to see if it just held on to it. I want to rotate it around and see if this door didn't function differently because of how I brought it in where it was a trillion pieces. Because it looks like it was not happy with the fact that I had segmented the wall. So now I think what needed to happen, like this side worked and it pushed through, but on the other side it still had all these extra lines, like this one.
Mm-hmm.
And we want it to be just one solid piece, just like the other side. So that should have allowed us to, you know how it was all dark gray? I think that's its biggest issue, which was more my fault than your fault. If it was
Now
just
that happened to me before,
Mhm.
where it took off the face. I'm watching to see is your fix. Okay, so that's how you fixed it.
I just drew a bigger rectangle and then I'd go in with my selection tool and try to that was going to be my fix for it, but hold on. And I also want to delete this guy up here. So he's all one piece as well. So now it's almost like it thinks it's inside out is what its issue is. I think my husband's gonna, there we go. And then let's see if I delete this guy. I don't know why it's doing that. My gosh, Robin, we have more troubles with doors.
Oh, I know.
Oh my gosh. Hunter. It's like a different decibel.
He's a shrieker.
Hi, honey. What's the significance, honey? I had it all figured out. And now it's dark gray versus the white. Can I reverse the side, the face? Reverse faces. Okay, but then I have this line and I bet if I, okay. So the face was reversed, whatever that means. So now that's fixed. That's a really odd situation. So I just clicked reverse face, so it got rid of the gray side and put the white side on the other side.
Okay.
I'm going to save this.
Your edges look like they're also inverted.
Okay, so I promise you if you do another door here, it'll work once you get to the dotty face.
Okay.
Hold on. My ear is killing me. Besides that, Robin, what else did you have that was going on?
Guys. I think that was probably the last big thing. Just, you know, really overall, one of my biggest problems is every time I'm trying to import stuff or
It
save
dies
it
out.
after, as soon as I get it in, it dies out. So I'm just spending so much time getting in there. And then I am still having a lot of trouble getting things in place.
Okay.
I was working on that quite a bit when we were helping other people, while you were helping other people.
Hmm.
Trying to
Did you
see.
bring them
I
in?
finally got the bowl.
Did you bring them
Like,
in a separate drawing and then paste from above and all that jazz?
I didn't do the separate drawing, but I was working from the above. Of course, for a long time today, I was working on the problem of every time I took away the walls, I didn't have the right floor level.
Hmm.
So maybe just everything that we fixed today.
Well,
When
I
I come
think it
back to it
seemed like
tomorrow, maybe
everything
it'll go
was
better
too,
now.
like everything was floating, but the reality was you were just missing your floor level, so it was all on the floor level, at least your existing furniture. But
Right.
doing it in another drawing and bringing it in, like when you go into the Google Warehouse and it says, do you want to bring it into your drawing or another drawing? Doing that and copying it in top from there should help in bringing it into here. And then making sure you're
Okay.
just in top mode, moving it forward and backwards instead of in a view like this, trying to move it side to side will be helpful.
Okay.
I need to wrap this up probably in the
I know.
next 5 minutes because my husband will divorce me, but
No, I'm good. I'm good.
so
Yeah, because I was contemplating going into work to help get things caught up, and I'm like, no, I'm not going now. It's too
yeah.
late. And I've been doing AutoCAD or SketchUp since noon.
Yeah. So if you guys need more
Okay,
time
so
on
yes, that's
this,
all I have. Thank you. That was lots of help. I'm hoping to get this part done and turned in by tomorrow.
okay. And if you need a little bit more time, you need a little bit more time. We might talk as a class. I've started to grade some of these and I'm not thrilled. So it might be something we have until the presentation is due to get all of these things right. So I might extend it too, or just make it
Okay.
worth less points if it's turned in late. Um,
Allison, I found lines in every room.
Weirdo lines. Okay, let's look at those really
All
quick,
right.
Janice.
I'm gonna log off here. Thanks again for all your help. I really appreciate it.
Yep, you're welcome. So I'm going to switch to Janice. Yes.
Okay. It's
Oh
like
my
every,
gosh, you
and
do.
it's like if you go around, it's everywhere. I have no idea what happened.
Okay. Well, for
I
this,
didn't know if I was
Janice,
rotating and doing something or what.
Janice, for this instance, since you don't have any paint on your walls from what I can tell, you just have
Right. I
furniture,
did all of
go,
this done.
go ahead and save this or your most current drawing, okay? And
Okay.
I have a file called follow up. Open recent. Janice, new model. And I will paste all of your stuff, all your furniture into a clean one, and I'll send it back to you, okay?
Okay, so just paste everything. You're sending me a new model? Is that what you said?
You need to upload your model, let's say
Okay.
to session 11, because I think that's the one that this is, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So session 11, you're going to re-upload your model, and then I'll fix it with your furniture in it, and I'll send it back to you, okay?
Yes, I will do that.
And then, you're welcome. And then let's see if I can talk to Josie really quick. Josie? Are you there? You might need to unmute yourself. I don't know for sure.
So I'm just supposed to upload this to a new model and then send it to you?
You just upload this model straight to session 11 like you're submitting it as your homework.
Okay.
And then that way I can open it and I'll send you back a new model. Okay?
Okay, got it.
Where I
Thank
take
you.
the walls and fix them. Because it's beyond repair right now. I can tell by looking at it.
I'm sorry, but thank you so much.
No, you're welcome. Let's see. Josie? Are you there? Josie? Okay, Nicole, are you there?
I am here.
All right. So For you, we were going to talk about the sun is what we were going to talk about.
There is no more sun, Allison.
Okay, let's see. I'm going to switch to you.
Oh,
Okay, tools.
look how pretty mine is. Look at all of those tabs.
Honey, I thought that the sun, I hate the new 2016. Let's see. I'm looking for sun, you know, shade with sun. I thought it was under, let's see.
I thought you were about to say a bad word.
Tools, dimensions, outer shell.
Or if you right-click your toolbar. Oops. Shadows. No. Yeah.
But there's the option.
Time of day.
But usually there's the box that you click and it says shade with sun and you turn it off and it's not on at all. That's what I want. So this is that and this.
That's with shadows and without shadows.
So let me see if, well, but that's not what it used to be called in 20. Okay, that's what I'm, this is weird. Okay, so then if I go into your layers, window, default tray, show tray, and then over here, and I take your roof off. And I take your second story off.
Now I have a ceiling.
And these are
I have
all,
one more. Sorry, go ahead.
oh, I was just going to say you've added lots of like different ceilings, but if we come in here, I want to show you an exporting difference. My husband seems to think this is the tool I'm thinking of, but I don't know. I'm not convinced. Maybe.
I have my pictures open.
You have your what open?
I have the before and after picture of the kitchen.
Okay. I'll let go of the controls if you want to pull those up, but keep this as it is in the background.
That was my after.
So see how, there you can see it. See the shadows from the sun?
Uh-huh.
That's, I don't have that on. And so it's actually puts in daylight as it comes through your clear windows, and with your roof on, it takes that all into account and where the sun is at in your model. So that's why your model is so dark, which I'm hoping to show you the difference. So look how dark this is versus how bright this is on the screen.
Right. I understand what you're saying. I don't know how it's put on because I don't even know how to get to it.
So I'm thinking, no, I get it. That's what we're trying to figure out. It's just called something different in the older versions, but this may be it. Show hide shadows, which was under the right clicking and then coming down to shadows and checking it on. But let's see. We'll find out if we I don't want them on. No. Boathouse site plan. I'm going to just do your desktop so I can find it right away.
But you have it as AutoCAD.
There you go. JPEG. Export.
Nope, you didn't do it as JPEG. You did
What?
it as a toggle.
As a letter?
Oh, it's not responding. I thought it said toggle or something, but it didn't say JPEG.
File, export, 2D graphic.
Oh, tagged image.
Oh, that's
Okay.
interesting. I wonder what that even is. Oh, it's a TIFF. Export.
I don't know. What is that?
Should have been a JPEG. Oh, what's a TIFF?
Yeah.
It's just another file type. It's similar to a JPEG, but it's a file you could open in Photoshop, and it does have a tag associated with it. Hold on.
Oh, okay.
So you're going to click that one. Is that the new one?
Yep.
So see how bright it is?
Yes.
All right. So what we did is we turned the shadows off, so it's not taking into account the sun at all. It's just treating it as a drawing with the colors of the materials applied.
Okay,
But
perfect.
I think that, let's just do a test to make sure I'm not lying to you, because I have lied to you in the past. So here, let's turn this on. Let's export the drawing that way. Because otherwise I just, oh, it's not responding.
I will need assistance with something else later, obviously not now because it's been a long time, but like I'm trying to, you know, move all of my walls into different sections,
Uh-huh.
but then if I'm painting, like say the fireplace wall, then it paints that whole back wall into my office and into the bedroom too.
Oh, that's because I drew it as one giant wall. So you'd have to draw lines within the group to divide it up.
Okay. Okay.
So let's see, export 2D graphic.
Put it to behind, yeah.
Export. We'll see. Usually it shows me in my view though.
Yeah, isn't that in settings?
What do you mean?
Go to view.
Oh, so then you'd be viewing it as actually as rendering? Is that what you're saying? We're all tired on this side.
I understand.
All right.
I'm sitting in my living room with everybody. They're like, are you still listening to them? For a little while, I was on the phone with my mom, too, so it was really weird to have you in one ear and then have my mom in another. That was fun.
Oh, wait. Come on, SketchUp.
And it probably doesn't help that I have a whole nother SketchUp drawing open right now, too.
I'm sorry, honey. All right, let's see. So it's working. Yeah. Well, no. So that's really strange because these are completely different than your views were. Somehow your sun was turned on. I know I didn't turn it off today.
Okay.
But that's what I'm looking for. So
Okay.
I want
want
to
me
figure that out
to-
for you. I'll put that in my follow-up as well, but let me see if I can
Okay.
show you the difference. It might be because of the time that it's set to as well. View. There's a set. Oh my gosh. Face style. Shaded with textures. Hunter James Green. Alright, I guess for now I'm just going to call it a night, but I'll put it in my follow-up to let you know what's going on.
Okie dokie.
Alright, guys. Janice, are you okay for now? I think everyone's good then. And
She said thanks.
okay. Josie,
Yes?
are you good? After we've talked about all the things tonight, the materials and how to turn that assignment in, at least because it has no AutoCAD associated with it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, do you have me on?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm not muted, yes. Okay, I was just typing. Yeah, I'm going to try to get everything pulled together, and I'll see what I can send out tomorrow.
Okay.
And
Yeah, if you need another day, take another day.
it helps just to get my head around this thing. But yeah, it's very helpful. I appreciate it. And then I also like just to listen to what you're telling these other gals because it clicks. I'm learning as I'm listening.
Good, great. I recorded this and I can also post it, although it's going to be crazy for the people who weren't here tonight to figure out what's useful and what's just blabbering on or waiting or scrolling. So I'll still post it though.
Okay, good.
Everybody have a good night and keep texting me your questions. Again, I answer that quicker than email because I get it on my phone right away. So,
okay.
All right. Have a good night, guys.